Welcome in. David Lloyd J. Harris with you. Stephen A. is going to join us in just a minute to weigh in on a series that's more fun than a sharp stick in the eye, right?
Or a couple of fingers, maybe. That was James Harden's night as the Rockets were hoping to get even in their series of Golden State. Houston's lost 8 straight playoff series when trailing 0-2. Last night's highlights, here we go. I got it right here in my hot little hand. I was hoping the camera was going to come over here.
Nope.
All right.
Just read the highlight.
All right, you got it. There's James. Nice outfit. There's Steph. Mouthpiece hanging out his mouth. Weird sequence of events to start this one. Keep an eye on Curry. Gets in the way of a pass and he hurts his hand. Looks down at his hand. Dislocated left middle finger. Look at that. Well, maybe don't look at it. Here's Steph on the injury.
Didn't break anything, so that's fortunate. And some higher powers looking out for me on that one. I just got to deal with pain, and hopefully before Saturday that goes away.
That looked really painful, too. All right, now here's James Harden's night. Smacked in the head by Draymond Green as he goes for his own rebound. He's down on the floor. Play continued. 5-on-4. Kevin Durant swishes a 3 in the corner, but check out Harden again right there. And he is down. Draymond would go over to console him. He's like, I hit him by mistake. My bad. I'm sorry, James. Steph coming back in, got the finger taped. And this is non-shooting hand. It is shooting hand, still really, really good. Drops the 3, playing well. Harden would also come back in. Eyes glazed, bleeding. But his shot was on. Step back over Andre Iguodala. Rockets still trailed by 9 going into the half. Warriors starters got going in the third. Kevin Durant using a Curry screen to hit the 3. Warriors a 12-point lead. Klay Thompson, another screen. Klay and Curry, 11 First time in the Steve Kerr era that all 5 Warrior starters scored 15-plus points each. Fourth quarter now, back to James Harden. At 29 points, clearly bothered though. Bright lights bothering him, but the shot was rocking. Still, I'm pointing my eyes. I can't. This is not easy for me. Warriors turn to answer. Curry, screen, back up 6. Late in the fourth, Warriors up 10 now. Watch the ball movement around the ring to get Draymond Green for the jam. He finished with 15 points, 12 boards, 7 assists. Warriors get the win. Harden dealing with the eyes post-game.
It hurt. I can barely see, but just try to go out there and do what I can to help my teammates.
James, we can tell the lights are bothering your eyes. Did you have trouble with your vision on the court?
Can't see nothing.
Whooped out.
Barely could see.
I'm sorry, what?
I barely could see.
Harden's going to have 4 days to heal the dreaded Tuesday-Saturday scheduling in this series. We got Stephen A. here with us. So, Stephen A., the Warriors grind out 2 close wins at home. They hold serve. In your mind, is it still a tight series, or are the Rockets in major trouble?
I think the series is over. I don't think the series goes past 5 games because I can't see the Rockets winning 2 games in Houston. And if they lose one of these games, they ain't winning Game 5 at the Oracle. The bottom line is that when we look at the Houston Rockets, we see the greatness of James Harden. I think you need to harken back to the first-round series against the Utah Jazz when Quinn Snyder, the coach of the Jazz, had Ricky Rubio leaning on Harden's left arm or literally playing behind James Harden. I think you look at the Warriors, and they've emulated that to such a degree when you see Steph Curry defending against them. You see the Iguodalas against them. Kevin Durant is so long, he doesn't have to do all of that because he's 7 feet tall. He puts that 7'6" wingspan up there. It's problematic. Iguodala is there now. Wasn't there last year when they went against the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. We forgot about that because we were so focused on CP3 being hurt. So when you look at the Golden State Warriors and you put in their death lineup, that 5 with Iguodala, Draymond, KD, Klay, and Steph, The shortest dude is a lanky 6'3" with long arms, Steph Curry. Everybody else is 6'7" and above. I think that's problematic. If you're Mike D'Antoni, accustomed to giving the ball to James Harden and say, save the day for me, you're going to look for other guys to step up. They did. They didn't play bad. Chris Paul didn't play bad. Eric Gordon didn't play bad. Clint Capella didn't play bad. But it still wasn't enough. And so when you look at it from that perspective, you need a Herculean effort from James Harden, the kind of effort that you saw him put on display throughout the regular season when he scored 30-plus against every single NBA opponent he faced this year, all of the 29 teams. But it's going to take that just to win a game, let alone the series. And I don't see him doing that 2 or 3 times in this series. I think that's what it's going to take. Since it's not going to happen, unfortunately for me, because I wanted a 7-game series, I can't see this going past 5 because I can't see Houston winning both games 3 and 4.
All right. Hey, you mentioned the so-called death lineup, the Hamptons 5, some people call it. Draymond Green a part of that. And this guy, Stephen A., has been criticized up and down this season for not playing up to the level he's played in years past. What have you seen out of Draymond this postseason?
Well, I think he's been fantastic in the postseason, particularly this series. I think he's shown why he's such a valuable component. And I'm one of those guys that believes that Draymond Green is vastly underappreciated. He definitely needs to improve his perimeter shot. Draymond Green needs to get a better jump shot. He definitely needs to shoot better from three-point range. But let's be very, very clear. Basketball isn't just about scoring. You have to defend. You have to know what everybody else's job is supposed to do. You've got to be a vocal leader. You got to talk on defense. You got to be able to man up and defend your man. You got to be able to switch and go from defending a forward 1 second to defending perimeter players and guards the next. These are all the things that Draymond Green does. He brings such a level of versatility to their lineup, even though he gets on Steve Kerr's nerves from time to time. The bottom line is you cannot minimize this man's value because what he brings to a team can't just be measured by scoring. If that's the case, Dennis Rodman would have never been a Hall of Famer. And I'm not comparing him to Dennis Rodman in terms of Dennis Rodman's ability to rebound the basketball, but think about what we said about Rodman. He rebounded, he defended, he ran the floor. Well, in Draymond Green's case, not only does he defend and rebound, but he also plays point forward. Sometimes he's captaining your offense. You cannot minimize that impact. And I think he's averaging like 12, 8, and 7 in this postseason on 10 shots per game in this series. He's been absolutely great as far as I'm concerned, and he's elevated his level of value in our eyes compared to what we saw from him in the regular season.
This is a guy who got into shape after the All-Star break, one of those rare things where he dropped weight during the season, and he really has been a force so far in the playoffs. And the Warriors now up 2-0 as the series heads to Houston for Game 3. Stephen A. joining us today on Sports.
All right.
Coming up, can an injury to James Harden actually be a good thing for the Rockets? We're going to explore that, why Houston could benefit from their superstar getting hurt.
If the Bucks go down 0-2, that's trouble. To the rim, left hand throw down. Middleton for 2 in a row, got it! That looks like the Giannis that will likely be MVP.
Well, the Bucks stars came out in Game 2 as we go by the numbers. Giannis dropped 14 of his game-high 29 on drives. In Game 1, the Celtics held him to just 4 points on 2 of 8 shooting on drives. And while Mr. Antetokounmpo did his damage at the rim, his teammates did work outside. The Bucks made 23, shattering the franchise postseason record, led by 7 threes by Chris Middleton. On the other side of the ball, the Bucks defense locked down Kyrie Irving in their Game 2 win. Irving 4 for 18 from the field as the Bucks contested 89% of his shot attempts.
This is what I signed up for. This is what Boston traded for me for. So being able to go back, get back in the trenches, get ready for, another battle on Friday. This is what you live for. So, basketball is fun when it comes like this, when you have to respond. And, this is type of basketball you want to be playing at this time of year.
We got a ass whoop in the Game 1, so we have to come out here and get Game 2. It's tough when a team comes into your home and get the two first games. So we knew that. We had that in the back of our minds. So we came out, we played hard, we moved the ball, we trusted one another, and that's why we got to win.
All right, here's how the Bucks and Celtics have fared at TD Garden in the last 3 seasons. The Celtics dominate the matchup, including winning all 4 games at home in last year's playoffs. Boston scores more, shoots better, and averages less turnovers in Milwaukee. A big reason why they've won 7 of their last 10 at home against the Bucks, David.
So we got Philip Rivers going into the final year of his contract, and he is about to get paid. Coming up, what the Chargers are planning to keep him around. And it was a dream come true for CeCe Sabathia, but why the biggest strikeout of his career still didn't make him completely happy last night.